22-year-old man guilty of murdering an off-duty police community support officer. The data from Julia's smartwatch was used to convict Wheeler, who offered no explanation for his crime. Also tonight.
Evening News with Lucrezia Millarini.
Good evening. The man who murdered police community support officer Julia James is tonight facing a life sentence after being found guilty of beating her to death. 22-year-old Callum Wheeler ambushed the off-duty officer as she walked her dogs in woods close to her home in Kent. There's still no apparent motive for what Wheeler did, and he had no connection to the 53-year-old. Well, the jury took just over an hour to return their verdict. A warning, Sangeeta Lau's report contains some distressing details. The Prime Minister is in Belfast tonight, trying to break the political deadlock preventing the formation of Northern Ireland's government. The Democratic Unionists are refusing to join the power-sharing executive in a row over the Northern Ireland Protocol. After Brexit, the protocol was designed to avoid a north-south border on the island of Ireland, but it effectively created an east-west border in the Irish Sea, and it's imposing extra costs on trade, leading to concerns Northern Ireland is suffering unfairly. Well, the UK government wants to make a number of changes to the protocol, including scrapping checks on goods heading from Britain to Northern Ireland. But the EU and Sinn Féin, now the country's biggest party, don't agree. From there, our deputy political editor, Anish Kristana, reports. The identities of some of the 10 innocent people shot dead in a racially motivated attack in New York State have been released by authorities. They were all killed by an 18-year-old white supremacist in Buffalo on Saturday afternoon. Questions are now being asked why the killer wasn't stopped. From the city, Robert Moore heard the grief and anger, but also the appeals for calm. The Swedish government has confirmed it will apply for membership of NATO in response to the invasion of Ukraine. Blackpool footballer Jake Daniels says he hopes to be a role model for other players after coming out as gay. The 17-year-old says he's been hiding who he is and made the announcement with the support of his family, teammates and his club. And Martha Fairley is here with more details on this. Martha, this really is a significant moment, isn't it?
Yes, that he felt that off the pitch he'd been hiding who. Well, he said he hopes he will encourage other people to. Liverpool Football Club has issued a statement saying it's incredible, and they say it's vital we all promote. And
thank you. There's plenty more to come on the ITV Evening News. Eyewitness report from Dan Rivers is coming up at 7. We'll be back after this short break. Welcome back. Energy regulator Ofgem has unveiled a controversial plan to tackle the cost of living crisis. It wants to change the energy price cap every 3 months rather than the current 6-monthly update. Well, the watchdog says that will see savings passed on quicker to customers in Britain, but many fear it will just see bills shoot up even quicker, as our consumer editor Chris Choi now reports. A 3-year-old boy has been killed in a suspected dog attack. Police were called to an address in Milrow in Rochdale yesterday afternoon. Yasmin Bottleby is near the scene tonight. Yasmin, what have the police said? Yasmin, thank you. Diesel prices have reached a record average high of more than £1.80 per litre. Pauline Rooney revealed in court today how her amateur detective work led to her identifying Rebecca Vardy as a source of leaks to newspapers. Mrs Rooney described how she used her Instagram account to set a trap. Mrs Vardy denies being the source and is accusing her former friend of libel. From the High Court, here's Chloe Keedy on another day of gripping evidence. You're watching the ITV Evening News. Here's what's still ahead before Emmerdale. First, as Ukrainian forces push the invading Russians out of Kharkiv, a special eyewitness report from inside the city on those who've been resisting so bravely. The region's governor said today that Russians have been pushed back to their own border. If true, it's testament to the courage of those who survived in Kharkiv, which was besieged for weeks. Our correspondent Dan Rivers journeyed to Ukraine's second city with the soldiers who helped liberate it, and he heard from the residents who defied the odds to defend their homeland. Well, now let's get an update on what is making the news tonight. Well, next tonight, if you thought getting a new passport was the end of your travel worries, think again. The boss of Ryanair has warned prices for summer flights are set to soar because of increased demand, and he predicted there would be continued delays at airports. Well, scheduled carrier is at Gatwick Airport. To the United States now, where Amber Heard has told a court she feared she would not survive if she remained married to Johnny Depp. She catalogued a series of alleged attacks which she claimed had become routine. Hollywood star Depp denies any abuse and is suing his ex-wife for defamation. Geraint Vincent has more. A British man has claimed the record for the most ascents of Mount Everest by a foreigner. Kenton Cool reached the summit for the 16th time early yesterday morning. He paid tribute to his Sherpa guides, who he called the superheroes of the mountains, and he still has some way to go to match the world record of 26 ascents held by Sherpa Kami Rita. Ben Chapman has more. To a heart-stopping moment in Kazakhstan, where quick thinking and absolute bravery saved the life of a 3-year-old girl. To another hero now, and a passenger who landed a small aircraft after the pilot collapsed has described his frightening ordeal. Darren Harrison, who has no flying experience, only had seconds to act as a plane went into a dive. Neil Connery takes up the remarkable story of survival. There's still plenty to stay with us for, including... Join me and Alex after the break with all that to come before Emmerdale. Welcome back. Now, many of us won't have seen it, but there was a total lunar eclipse last night. The moon turned a dramatic red colour, although cloudy skies across the UK prevented many of us getting a look. There were, though, plenty of spectacular thunderstorms. Alex is here, and Alex, the moon was quite a sight for those lucky enough to...
Gotta settle down.
So, Alex, calmer tomorrow, but also things hotting up.
Yes, so I think probably tomorrow we'll see our hottest... Yeah, so all looking good for the middle part of the week, but as I say...
Unblock and antihistamine.
You've
Alex,
got it.
Thank you. And finally, some Mo Farah and pop star Liam Payne joined forces today to surprise students and raise vital funds for UNICEF next month. They both play in Soccer Aid, an all-star match which supports humanitarian aid for children across the world. But, as our entertainment reporter Rishi Davda explains, they'll be hoping it doesn't go to penalties. And that is all for now. Tom is here with news at 10, but from me and all the evening news team, bye-bye.